Hey guys, it's Kevin yesterday for Penny Dreadful, Season 2, Episode 3, The Nightcomers, and this season has been on fire lately, really. This has been an amazing second season. Season 1 was great, but Season 2 is just stepping it up so much, and I love it. And this episode was, again, probably best episode of the season, honestly. It really was, and I'm going to talk about why. Last year, if you guys remember, we had that Vanessa-centric episode called Closer Than Sisters, and it really provided us with all the information we really need to know about Vanessa's character. And here again, this was information we needed to know, it was crucial information. And I was surprised by how early in the season was, but honestly, we needed to know this stuff in order to understand like what was going on. Like, how did Evelyn and Vanessa know each other? We find that out in this episode. How is Vanessa? What does Evelyn want with Vanessa? We find out in this episode. Like, how can Vanessa stop Evelyn? We find that out as well. And I thought it was really interesting the way this was done, and it was different from Closer Than Sisters as well, because Closer Than Sisters was her, of course, writing the letter to Mina, and here it was a lot more interesting. It really made me think about a lot of things for the rest of the season. And let's get into this episode because it was amazing and I loved it. And it was probably the best episode of the season. Honestly, it was amazing. So there's only two of the main characters in this episode, Ethan and Vanessa. The rest of the characters are not in this episode. Just like the last one was more about Malcolm and Vanessa, this one only Ethan and Vanessa. Because Ethan sees Vanessa basically finger painting scorpions on the floor in her own blood, and obviously it's really weird, so he wants to know why exactly she's doing this, which is understandable, because, like, why would she be doing that? That is very strange. So she agrees to tell him what she's never told anyone before. He agrees to basically help her, and basically him telling her that, she decides to tell him this story, which is what the rest of the episode is her telling him this flashback, which I thought was an awesome flashback, I have to say. I thought this was really well done. It basically was the story of her search for answers, and the thing I thought really interesting about this, that this actually took place, I believe, right after the last flashback episode. I believe that the flashback that we saw, it took place right after Vanessa had that whole conversation with Mina. I think this episode took place like right after that, which if that's true, that's really cool. Because basically she's standing outside. We see Vanessa. She's standing outside a cottage on the moors, unable to get past a threshold marked by two piles of stones, and we meet this character called the Cut Wife, who is brilliantly played by Patti LuPone. Honestly, she was totally unrecognizable in this episode. This woman is just a true, oh my god. I mean, I already knew she could act, but she was absolutely amazing in this. The thing I loved about Patti LuPone is that we knew she was going to be in the show. I like that they didn't reveal her character, though. They didn't tell us who her character was going to be. It made it a lot more surprising to realize that she was in this episode, and I was very happy to see that she was in this episode. And just like it was really cool to see the bonding between Mina and Vanessa, I love seeing the bonding between the Cut Wife and Vanessa. I really did. I thought it really worked for the show. So basically, she's watching through a window in her door after at least a day has passed, and the Cut Wife emerges, bites her own thumb, and basically she marks Vanessa's forehead with blood in the shape of a cross. And she says that she's strong-willed and a guile like the scorpion. And basically, she thinks that Vanessa's there for maybe a usual cure, like a love potion or an abortion. But Vanessa quickly tells, which is what the Cut Lady usually does, hence the term the Cut Lady. That's what she usually does. She usually gives abortions, stuff that you would have to cut into people's skin to do. It is very disturbing, but, you know, that's why she's called the Cut Wife. So, there's a scar on the Cut Wife's back, though. How'd she get it? We don't really know. So Nessa feels his branding iron and flinches, which is enough for the Cut Wife to let her inside. So the Cut Wife realizes that she can trust her, and basically she explains that she believes to be cursed, and Mina comes to her in her mind, and she needs help, and the Cut Wife isn't convinced until Vanessa says that the branding was done by someone she trusted, a sister. And the Cub Wife pulls out. Now, at first, she thinks she's crazy. You know, she doesn't really believe Vanessa. But the Cub Wife pulls out her tarot cards, and she asks her guests to believe. And Vanessa chooses the devil, and now she's allowed to spend the night. Now, when she chose the devil, I'm like, oh shit, because Vanessa can get possessed at this point, if you remember. In the flashback, she got possessed, of course. So I was wondering if that was going to happen here. So, now that the Cub Wife knows what Vanessa can do, she knows she can spend the night now. So gathering herbs in the woods, the Cut Wife tells Vanessa that tarot readings aren't always literal. They can't always listen to all of them. And Vanessa suggests that the devil might mean evil, so that she can do better than that. And basically, she tries again what might well be a summary of the show. A dark lover approaching, bringing terror and irresistible part of you, but not the whisper of something ghastly and beautiful. That honestly is sort of like the message of the show, I have to say. So the co-wife could feel just that's kind of something inside Vanessa before she even met her, and she wanted to lock her doors and scream because of it. But she also feels Vanessa's pain while the co-wife learned this gift, and Vanessa was born with it. This was something that, of course, Vanessa was born with. Her like abilities and everything. Remember, she was born with it. That's not something that Vanessa can control. She was born with this, and she's always going to be born with this. So I thought that was really interesting that we saw. She kind of is like a Yoda to Vanessa in a way, if you think about it, because basically she's using her powers. The Cutwife is able to divine the secrets of Vanessa's past and wants her out of her home. And Vanessa turns the tables on the Cutwife and uses her seer power to look into her own past. Basically, we find very quickly what's actually going on with the Cutwife, and what's going on is actually very interesting. Because she basically learns that the Cutwife was betrayed by her sister, and that's how she ended up in exile. So that's really interesting to have to say. Now we know what happened to the Cutwife, that she was exiled, and that I thought was very interesting to find out. Definitely, I thought that was really well done. Definitely something I thought was really cool was finding out that she was exiled and everything. It just really made us care more about her character, I have to say. That's something I thought they did very well this episode, make us care about her character. They definitely did a very good job with that. Sorry guys, I'm trying to fix my lighting because it sucks right now. It was good before, but now it's not. Alright, that's better. Okay. So, yeah, I thought that was really interesting we found that out. And basically, we find out very quickly why this is important. Because, of course, you're probably just thinking, why the hell is this important? Why do we care about Vanessa and the Cutwife? Because that night, Evelyn and her coven show up outside the cottage, and are like, oh, Evelyn's the Cutwife's sister. It was her branding iron that marked the Cutwife's back with a pentagram. And this, I thought, just made us... Evelyn was already creepy. Okay, the baby thing, that was legitimately creepy. This made me more scared of her. And if they keep doing that in the show, making me more and more terrified of her character, that's awesome. Because that's why I love this show. A lot of people say the show is very cheesy and hammy, but I don't think that. I think this show is a lot more serious. You can take it a lot more seriously than American Horror Story. I really do. This is a show for me where it can genuinely scare you. If it genuinely scares you, then I think it's doing its job. So the Master wants Vanessa above all, and the witches have come to retrieve her. So now we know why she's after Vanessa still, because obviously it didn't work out the last time. So when the Cutwife refuses, Evelyn asks for a kiss, because the Cutwife obviously is not going to give Vanessa to Evelyn. She knows how powerful she is. And Evelyn literally pulls her sister toward her against her will. And this is something else that Evelyn can do, apparently, is like get people just randomly like teleport, like basically move people. And again, it just gives her a lot more power because this is power we haven't seen yet. It's one thing to enchant someone with a Verbis Diablo, which was really creepy, like she did to Malcolm. But this time she completely overrides someone's will with just English. Like she pulled her into this kiss just by telling her to. It was really creepy, and it just shows us some other ability that Evelyn has, and it was really, really creepy, I have to say. So basically, she's going after Vanessa, which I thought was really interesting to find out she was going after Vanessa. And basically, she uses her infernal power and nearly seduces her back to her side, but Vanessa bursts out of the house, magically forces her back, and Evelyn doesn't just give up and go home, though obviously she's not going to do that. So, she knows what she needs to do now. She knows what's going to happen, basically. So, basically, Vanessa throws open the cottage door, cries out, the Cutwife falls to her knees, and she later explains that the witches used to be her own coven back when they were daywalkers, who dabbled in herbs and healing, but Evelyn took a new path, trading her soul to the devil to become a Nightcomer in exchange for what everyone wants. So basically, that's why Evelyn is so evil, because she made a deal with the devil, which is why she's so close to Lucifer, and now we know why Evelyn is as evil as she is, because she made a deal with the devil. And basically, she made a deal for what everyone wants. Power, youth, beauty, love, which is true. Everyone wants that. Everyone wants power, everyone wants to be rich, everyone wants to be beautiful, and everyone wants love. This is stuff that Evelyn took from the devil, and I thought that was really interesting. So our conversation is interrupted by a knock on the door. Probably one of the hardest scenes to watch in the episode, honestly. It's a very small scene, but it was very hard to watch. We see this girl that's actually come for an abortion, and Vanessa wants to help her out because she feels that she should. And comforting this girl, asking her to look into her eyes, God forgives all, she says, as the Cutwife cynically grasps a knife, and it's very hard to watch. But it's understandable why. I mean, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to not be hard to watch someone, like, cut into somebody, giving them an abortion. It's not going to be, like, easy to watch. So the idea of the cut wife, of course, now we know why she's called the cut wife. We had to see her cut someone, so men are spitting on her as they pass, hating her for the same services they rely on, and we see that. I mean, humanity sees its flaws in the cut wife, and you can't understand why people in this world hate what is not them, why they fear for what all they don't know, why they hate themselves. So I thought that was really interesting. So Nessa believes that she's more of a monster than most, but at least she doesn't use her power to waltz through a field of cows and cut them all down with a smile on her face, because obviously that's what Evelyn does. So Vanessa knows that she's very powerful, but she does know that Evelyn is a lot more evil, which I like seeing. Vanessa's not an idiot. She knows what's really going on. She knows that Evelyn is the more powerful one, and I like that she knows that Evelyn is the more powerful one, because obviously Evelyn is the more powerful one. Evelyn is the evil one, and the one she should be afraid of. She shouldn't be afraid of the cut wife. The cut wife isn't someone she should be afraid of. So Evelyn doesn't stop what she does, because even though it didn't work out with the cut wife, she's not done, obviously. She wants, Vanessa. That's what she wants. So basically, she's taking to killing livestock and sexually dominating wealthy landowner Sir Geoffrey. Literally, she convinced him that the cut wife is to blame for blight on the land, and he believes that there's nothing to be done. You know, he really doesn't think there's anything wrong with it, and because the cut wife has a homestead deed from Cromwell himself, so there's really nothing they can do about it. But Evelyn, of course, is determined to make this happen, so she whips his naked body with a riding crop until he changes his mind, and again, something she can do, she can just compel people into doing things. It's really creepy. He shows his fear of emasculation by attempting to rape Vanessa in the woods. Vanessa bites his hand, holds a knife to his neck, and makes him scream, and that I thought was insane when he did that. Honestly, that was crazy. So, basically, that was crazy. Honestly, that was very hard to watch, and I felt really bad for Vanessa in that scene. Definitely, I felt bad for her. So basically, it's no wonder that she doesn't want to stay there. The cut wife, we find out though, is dying, and this I thought made it even more interesting. Now we know why this story is gonna affect the show so much, because basically she wants Vanessa to live on the land and take over her work when she's gone. But of course, at the time, Vanessa couldn't do that because she was so focused on getting Mina back and finding Mina. However, now that Mina's, dead, do you think that Vanessa could maybe take that position as the cub wife? I could definitely see it happening. I mean, when they were talking about this, I'm like, maybe Vanessa will take that position now, because now she has nothing to say. Like, before, she's like, I have Mina and everything. She had that excuse. Now she doesn't. She can't say, I have Mina in my life. I can't help you. She can't say that now, because now she doesn't have anything. I mean, now she has nothing to worry about. So maybe she will take over as the cut wife at this point. However, I'm pretty sure Vanessa knows what could happen if she does. But this was really interesting, because basically she still can't tell if Vanessa's heart is good or bad, but she shows her this forbidden book, which is the poetry of death, and tells her if it tells her to open it only if God abandons her completely. And Vanessa's life is already pretty dark, so how will she be able to tell the difference, really? I mean, it's really a dark life, but this book that they're talking about, I kind of feel like this is the only way to stop Evelyn. Maybe Vanessa's going to find this book, maybe she's finally going to use it, because she never used the book, we find out in this episode. She never actually used the book, so maybe she'll finally use it in this season. I could definitely see it happening. However, by now, Sir Geoffrey, so basically, Vanessa is refusing her home. She gives her this book and everything, but she only must use them when she's sure of God. So once Vanessa opens the book, everything will be lost, which I thought was really interesting. So the next thing I have to say kind of reminded me of like Frankenstein, because if you know the whole mob thing with Frankenstein, that's a lot like this scene. I don't know if they're trying to pay homage to that. I feel like Penny Dreadful tries to pay a lot of homage to classics like that, but this really reminded me of that, because by now Sir Geoffrey is the peasants convinced that he'll have to close the manor, leaving them all to die. And the town surrounds the cutwife's cottage with torches, because of course that's what Evelyn wanted. She wanted them to think that the cutwife was this terrible person. So they surround her with torches, and she delivers her last piece of advice to Vanessa, who promises to face the mob with her. And this is very, very important what she says here. This I thought was very important. Probably the most important part of the episode. She says, when Lucifer fell, he did not fall alone. They will hunt you until the end of days. Be true. My name is Joan Clayton. And that's something that she needs to remember. And now we know why Evelyn's after, because obviously the devil does not go away. They're still hunting her. They're still after Vanessa. After all these years, they're still after her. And now we know why, because of course Joan's words said that they're going to come after you. And I love finding out very subtly that her name was Joan. That I thought was really interesting. Wasn't Joan also her name, though, in American Horror Story? I believe it was, honestly. I believe her name was also Joan in American Horror Story. That's kind of funny, but, you know, I care more about her character here. Her character in American Horror Story was just stupid, honestly. So they go outside where the minister declares her guilty of necromancy, and the child throws the first stone as two men hold Vanessa back. The people take turns beating. You can see the look of Vanessa. She knows that she's about to lose the cub-wife from her life, and she really doesn't want to, but the people take turns beating and kicking Joan before shackling her to a tree. They cover her with tar. Vanessa's crying. They light Joan on fire. And again, Eva Green gives an amazing performance here. Honestly, this was an Emmy-worthy performance. I could see Patti LuPone getting nominated for a guest appearance for an Emmy. She really was very memorable here. And it's insane. They're all rounding up to basically kill the witch, and the mob gathers outside her hut, and the cowboy rises to meet them. And it's just so hard to watch, I have to say. The scene was so sad, and she's quickly taken. She's burned at the stake, and the fire engulfs Joan. Her eyes stay open, though. That's the creepy part of it. Her toes stay on the ground. She's fulfilling her promise to Vanessa's back with a cross, as Sir Geoffrey tells her to scream. And the next day, she opens Joan's last gift, and that, I thought, was just a crazy way. And it really was just crazy. It was really sad to watch, honestly, because once again, just like Closer Than Sisters, this took a very, very dark turn, even darker than Closer Than Sisters. Closer Than Sisters was just she lost Mina. This was, she was burned at the stake, she was killed by Evelyn, and Evelyn's still after Vanessa. I mean, honestly, it doesn't get darker than that. So the next day she opens Joan's last gift for her, the dead from Cromwell. Joan Clayton has been crossed out because, of course, she's dead. It's replaced by Vanessa Ives. So this land is legally hers, but she obviously isn't staying. My question is she going to go back to this land possibly to stop Evelyn? Because after lingering on the Forbidden Book, Vanessa packs the tarot cards instead, cuts her thumb, traces square beyond the stones outside. She walks away from the closest thing she ever had to a home, but basically we then hear that Joan's warning about Lucifer echoes again, and that's basically how the episode ends, which I thought was very interesting. So that's the end of the episode. So overall, guys, a very interesting episode. I like finding out more about Vanessa's relationship with this mentor. I thought that was really interesting to see. A lot I want to talk about, though. Because there was definitely more that this episode. There was definitely more this episode provided us with than the last one. The last one just made us realize that that Vanessa and Mina were close, and they were friends, and then they turned again. Basically her demon her getting possessed made them not friends anymore. That's what we found out last time. Here we found out something much more powerful, which I think this is gonna be. That book is gonna be the only way to stop Evelyn, which I hope is true, because that could be really interesting if Vanessa finally takes that book. Also, do you think that now Vanessa's going to try to become the cut wife? Because obviously she has really no excuse to say no. Because I think Ethan, he says he wants to help her. How is he going to help her? Like, what exactly does he plan to do? Because obviously at the beginning of the episode, he's like, I want to help you. How does this get him to help her? Is he going to maybe help her with the find a book? Is he going to help her find the cut wife's hut? Because I can definitely see this happening. Maybe he's going to tell her you have to fulfill your destiny, which honestly, I could see it happening. But very interesting seeing what's going to happen there. Now, we know Evelyn's a lot more powerful now. We know what she can do to Malcolm. My worry is that she's going to try to turn Malcolm against Vanessa and basically do what she did to the cut wife to Malcolm. But basically what she did to Sir Geoffrey to Malcolm. I feel like that's really what is so scary about this, that we know that Malcolm is under her control already. But knowing what she did to Sir Geoffrey, she could do that to Malcolm in a second. She really could. She's still just as powerful. I mean, she killed a baby. She's still just as powerful. We know how powerful she is, and we know what she can do. So I'm worried that she's going to do this to Malcolm, and this is going to get Malcolm to turn against Vanessa. I could really see this happening. I hope it doesn't, but I could definitely see that happening. I really hope that doesn't happen. Let's talk about the whole thing with what the co-wife said to Vanessa. Is there a way to stop this? I mean, there has to be a way. There has to be a way for her to stop Evelyn, but it seems like Evelyn's just going to come after her constantly. We still don't exactly know what Evelyn wants from Vanessa. We don't really know if she just maybe wants her power. I mean, honestly, it's probably because the cut wife was so powerful and Evelyn was so powerful, and there could only be one powerful one. So Vanessa's kind of like the powerful one now because obviously the cut wife's dead. So maybe she just wants Vanessa's power. I really don't know. I think it's really interesting overall to find out what's actually going on there. But what an amazing episode. I gotta say, I love these flashback episodes for quite a few reasons. One, they only focus on one storyline, so it's not too convoluted, and it's easy to focus. It's not too hard. I will admit that the first few minutes, I was like, this is boring. I'm not really into this, but I quickly got very into it. Once Evelyn showed up, I was like, I love this story. I love the way they're connecting this to what's actually going on. That was really cool. And also, Patti LuPone's performance was amazing. The bonding between Joan and Vanessa. Now we know why Vanessa is so powerful. How her mentor had basically helped her. I thought was really a strong bond, and I'm wondering if Vanessa's really going to try to do something about it. I mean, who knows? Honestly, in the end, Evelyn won, but Vanessa can still win. She can get the book. Maybe we don't know what's in the book though, of course, because all Joan said to her is that you open the book, you'll never be the same person you were meant to be. So what's in the book? Is there a way to get possessed? I mean, I kind of feel like it's like Evil Dead, where you should just leave the book alone. I don't know. I kind of feel like that's what's going on there. If you guys know, just leave this book alone. I kind of feel like that's what's going on there. But what do you guys think? I kind of feel like that's what's happening. But I absolutely loved this episode. I thought this was another fantastic episode. Again, the season's on fire. I have yet to see a bad episode from a single bad episode of the show. This probably topped Closer Than Sisters, by far best episode of the season. Next week, we're back to the regular stuff because we did see Victor and Malcolm and all of them in the promo. It also looks like Evelyn's going to use Sembene against Vanessa, which is really interesting because Sembene has had nothing to do. He's just the butler that's there. So if they actually give Sembene a legit storyline, that is going to be creepy if they gives him something to do, because that could be really cool. I'm just wondering how Evelyn plans to do that, what she actually plans to do to Vanessa. We know how powerful she is, and honestly, I'm terrified of what she can do. She's just getting more and more powerful every episode, and as I said, I'm terrified of her character. And then there's also Hecate. Is she going to make Hecate just as powerful? I mean, Hecate, we know, stole the baby. So is Hecate just as powerful? I mean, we haven't really seen Hecate done much besides steal the baby. But I could definitely see Hecate maybe go after Vanessa. I mean, who knows? She could use Hecate as, like, her secret weapon. I'm really not sure what's going to happen there. But that's basically my review. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys saw this episode. Overall, guys, best episode of the season by far. Absolutely loved it. I really hope Patti LuPone gets nominated for Guest Actress in a TV show because she was phenomenal in this episode. And also, Eva Green, please get nominated for an Emmy next year. This is going to be Eva Green's year. If you guys know, she was nominated for a Critics' Choice Award. I said on that post that this is going to be Eva Green's year. This episode, this is why Eva Green needs to get nominated. Seriously, she was amazing in this episode. That's my review. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in my next video, which will be my review for another classic mirror review, and I will see you guys for that. Okay, bye.